Hey everyone, Scott here, and this is my Apple iPhone 12 Pro. Such an awesome phone. I love this thing. It is a trooper. I use it hard. It is not my daily driver. It never has been my daily driver. I purchased this thing to be my primary travel camera. I travel a lot. I make travel videos, and I wanted a secondary device to keep my main device clean and clear and clutter-free. And the 12 Pro was amazing. This phone has been so durable, so good. I don't have any issues with it. It was the perfect evolution of the iPhone 11 Pro, which I had before, and it's amazing. In this video, I'm going to talk about all of the pros and cons of using this thing, at least in terms of as a travel camera, not necessarily as a smartphone, but being a travel camera requires being durable. I needed to depend on it, and I will say that it lived up to my demands. It was excellent. And this video, as usual, I'm not going to go over every feature. I'm just going to talk about everything that I liked and I didn't like about primarily the hardware of this thing. I'm not going to talk about the software, simply because software changes and updates over time. And what this thing came with is not how this thing is today. But I love this thing. It's been amazing, and the best way to describe how I really feel about it is to get into the pros and cons, which we will do now. My favorite thing about the iPhone 12 Pro is its shape. Yes, square edges. I like that. That is my favorite iPhone shape. This is very much like the old iPhone, I think it was iPhone 4, iPhone 5. Square edges are amazing because it's very grippy. It's something to actually hold on to. You can actually grip the edges with your fingers. You don't need to keep this thing in a case to be able to hold on to it. It's not slippery, and I hardly ever kept this thing in a case. And I can very firmly hold on to it. I can shake it around, and I can pick it up really easy without fear of it slipping out of my hands, which I really like. And the previous version of this, the iPhone 11 Pro, which I had rounded edges, and that thing was slippery. Without a case, I was dropping that thing all the time. Luckily, I never cracked the screen, but anyway, the square edges on the 12 Pro is what I like the most. And the second thing I like the most is durability. This thing has stood up remarkably well. As I said, I hardly ever kept this thing in a case. And as you can see, it is scratch-free. Even on the front here like this, I don't know if you can actually see that. There's fingerprints all over it. That's maybe a bad thing, but the fact that I kept this thing naked like this, and there is hardly a scratch on it. Maybe there's some scuffs and scrapes here in the bottom, but the fact that there is not a scratch anywhere, a major gouge, is impressive. So this thing was very, very durable. Despite the fact that maybe this is a Pro, it looks very delicate and very, very dainty. Now, I don't really care for having a dainty phone, but it looks high end. It looks like something special with the stainless steel edges like this, and then the glass back. It looks really, really nice, and it looks, dainty. Dainty is the best word I can think of. And that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. It's just a very elegant looking phone. Coming up from the iPhone 11 Pro, it was a nice change of pace. It was a nice redesign. I like this. And yeah, I guess that's one of my favorite things about the 12 Pro. I'm picking this up for the first time in, I don't know, several weeks, and I'm reminded of how nice this thing is. This is the space gray version, of course, and it's just such a beautiful phone. They really nailed the 12 Pro. Another pro of the iPhone 12 Pro are the cameras. Now, I gotta say, the entire reason why I bought this phone was because I needed a backup camera for doing some video shoots. Now, I shoot airline review videos. If you want to see those, go search for SandSpotter. And I needed a phone, or I needed a camera to take with me for the sole purpose of just getting video footage. I didn't want to fill up my primary phone, which at the time was the iPhone 11 Pro. I didn't want to fill that phone up with video footage and pictures. I wanted a dedicated device. That's why I got this thing, and I got it primarily because of the cameras. And I knew the cameras were good because I knew that I liked the cameras on the 11 Pro. And I gotta say, this was actually a huge improvement. I noticed a big difference in low light performance in both video and photos. That is a major pro. And the fact that this thing actually had telephoto for the first time. Let's see here, I forgot what it was. Yeah, it had a 2x zoom, which was, at the time, a game changer for me. Having the ability to zoom in and look at faraway things, especially when doing aviation videos, that was a big deal to me. Now it's not enough here in 2025, but at the time, these cameras were so amazing. And, the wide angle, the standard resolution or the standard distance, and then the zoom, it just upped my content game in a big way, and I like that. So this was a very good purchase in that regard. Something that I don't like so much is battery life. Now, it wasn't bad. I've certainly had phones that performed worse or had a worse battery, but this thing I had to kind of be careful of, because after an all-day photo shoot or a video shoot, I'd be running real low on battery. And the fact that I could go most of the day, I mean, I guess that's a good thing. I sound like I'm complaining, but compared to some of my other phones, like my Pixel 6, for example, it would last so much longer on a single charge. And even now, the phone that I'm recording this with, which is a iPhone 14 Pro, battery life is so much better. But I know that's not fair because this is a newer phone. But battery life, that's all I'm saying, is battery life disappointed me a little bit. It wasn't all that much better than my 11 Pro, so I don't know. It wasn't that great. Something that I really like, though, is screen. The screen is very bright, very clear, and even on a cloudy day like this, I can see it's so bright. I've got it cranked up to its maximum brightness, and then, yeah, you can just see that it's so crystal clear. Even on a sunny day, I have no issues, so that's a good thing. A con, as I'm being reminded of as I record this video, and this is something that applies to all iPhones in my opinion, but the glossy screen. The glossy screen can be a problem, especially outside like this, and if you've got a dark wallpaper or you're trying to do something on a dark background, if you've got dark mode set up on your phone, the gloss can be a problem. It's a little bit of an issue. You can see me there in the reflection, and then if you hold it at the wrong angle, you're going to get all kinds of reflections on the screen. Not necessarily a problem specifically to the iPhone 12, but it's worth talking about, worth mentioning. And yeah, something that I really like is how responsive this thing still is after all these years. I'm on, this has the latest version of iOS, which is iOS 18, I believe. And it is still incredibly snappy, incredibly smooth. There's no noticeable lag, and it just keeps on going. I don't have any issues with performance on this thing. I've never had performance issues. Sounds like a good thing. But yeah, with the iPhone 12 Pro, I guess that's one of the good things about going with the Pro. And just having that better processing power kind of future-proofs it a bit as time goes on. And yeah, this thing has been great. Build quality is excellent on the iPhone 12 Pro. As I said, this is my backup camera, or my primary camera when I'm out doing travel videos. And it takes a beating. It's on and off, on and off, on and off pretty much all day when I'm shooting. And I don't keep it in a case. It's naked like this. And all the buttons still work perfectly. They've got some nice click to them. Nothing's loose, nothing's rattly. And it's still a very solid piece. And again, I mentioned about the fact that there are no scratches or scrapes. And everything still works. Even the lightning port there in the bottom still works perfectly. This is a very durable phone. Even though it doesn't look like it. It looks so dainty. That's the word. I don't know. I got to come up with a better word, but that's what I'm sticking with for now. Anyway, I think that is all of the pros and cons that I can think of right off the top of my head. It's been such a great phone. I'm still holding on to this thing. I am going to retire it soon. The next time I get a new iPhone, my 14 Pro is going to replace this thing as my travel camera. And then I'll figure out something to do with this. Maybe I'll keep this. I don't know. Maybe I'll sell it. I have no idea yet. I'm not in a hurry to sell it simply because it's been such a good phone. So anyway, if you've had a 12 Pro, or if you have any questions or anything, leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear it. And yeah, thanks for watching. and I'll catch you in the next one.